All right, so this whole round was a lot. So, it's after the vote. It's the next round already. But I'm gonna start it from the top, go all the way down through this whole round, just summarizing what happened, what I experienced, who I talked to, all that sort of stuff. Just in order of what I knew at the time, just kind of going through like this wasn't filmed after. So, anyways, so we won immunity. we got to take time off of tribal, and I got to search all the way through the dream time. 4,000, a least favorite number. But in the dream time, I found several little goodies that could be a little useful down the line. So, I found a judgment pass. So that's basically a legacy advantage for final 8. I found a vote steal, pretty self-explanatory. A glass idol, which makes it so that it's a light tribal council, so everyone's votes are exposed. In 2 different places, I have found 10 judgment votes. I found a rock block, and I found a special power that during one of the merged tribal councils lets you split it into 2 different tribal councils, like that one Ghost Island round. 2 people win immunity, 2 people go home. At least that's my understanding. I know for a fact 2 people go home. And you can only vote for the people in your tribal council. So that's a little scary. So this whole time I was like, I'm just gonna do the judgment pass, because then I can just swap judgment votes with whoever I want. Be like, hey, let's swap some judgment votes. Then we can both go to dream time. I was gonna do that, but then, because then I could get back into dream time over and over and over and over again, and I know where all the items are. I like made a list of all the items, and then I could just come back over and over and over. But I found something better. Crazy that I found something better. So, the very last thing I found in that dream time, actually, maybe the second to last, one of the last 3 things that I found in dream time. So, I counted up from 0 to 1,000, then down from 4,000 to 3,000, and then up from 1,000 to 3,000. So, like 1,000 to... I counted, in one group I counted down from 4,000 to 3,000, and then from 1,000 to 160 to 1,600, and then 1,600 up through the rest of them. So, during that 1,600... I found 4 things. The last 1,400, I found 4 things. I found the light tribal in one go, and then like later that evening, I did the last like 1,000 or something. And it was in that last group all together that I found a peculiar looking shrine. I walked up to a pedestal and found a glowing artifact, and I heard a voice from above. This is a super idol. Play this after a vote is read to save the person with the highest amount of votes. However, claiming this item will require 1 more task of you. Accepting the task will force you to claim the item. Do you accept? So I was stuck in this huge dilemma. There's a super idol, which is... an idol's the most powerful thing in this game, and a super idol is more powerful. Like, a super idol is a get out of jail free card. Like that means that I can, if I get careless, if I get reckless, if someone tries to blindside me, I can just say no. I can't go anywhere. I have an extra life if I take a super idol. But if I get a judgment pass, then I can come back as much as I want to this place, because I know the Judgment Pass is going to be one of the first things to leave out of that group. So I was in this big dilemma. Do I risk it and hope no one else comes to Dreamtime so that I can take the Super Idol again on my second time around? Or do I snatch it up now and just give up on the Dreamtime because I know everything that's coming? I can prepare for all those things. I know, because exposed votes are a thing, I know who can be in Dreamtime and who can have those items, so I know whose good sides to stay on. So, I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I was like, I decided to play this game risky. I decided to play this game big. I can't let anyone know about this Super Idol. This is my Super Idol. I cannot tell Sammy, I cannot tell Gage, I cannot tell Nikias, I cannot tell Drew, I cannot tell Corey, I cannot tell a single soul about this. I am saying, to those who asked, I am saying my power. I got too bored. If for people who knew I went through Dreamtime, I was like, I couldn't do it. It was too hard for me. I didn't have the patience. And that's only for people who asked me about Dreamtime. So Nikias thinks I'm going to Dreamtime now. Drew, I think he knows I'm in Dreamtime. Corey knows I went to Dreamtime, and Gage knows I went to Dreamtime. And Sammy obviously knows I went to Dreamtime. But those 5 people, basically my allies. Oh, excuse me, no, I went to Dreamtime. Nikias only thinks I'm going to Dreamtime now because I didn't want to tell him that I gave Gage my votes. But it's basically going to become common knowledge at this point that I gave Gage my votes. It's just going to be I did it now instead of earlier. That's the only lie to save working together. But yeah, so I decided, fuck it, I'm taking the Super Idol. I can't, that is too powerful of an object to let out of my grasp, even if I know someone has it, even if I know that it is out there. It's not a thing that you can work around. You have to vote someone out twice. You have to vote someone out 2 times for them to be gone if there's a Super Idol in play, and that is not something I want. I want to be the person who has to be voted out twice. I don't want anyone else, because let's say Venny gets it, because he's the next person in Dreamtime. Venny gets it, I'm not working with Venny. I now have to vote him out of this game twice. I don't want to vote anyone out of this game. I want them to be out. If I vote someone out, I want them to be gone. I don't want to deal with them again. So I decided, fuck it, I'm taking the Super Idol. It doesn't matter what I have to do. If I have to throw immunity to get the Super Idol, I'm immune. They can try and vote me out all they want. Fuck them. Fuck it off. Fuck off. Fuck it all. So I get my thing, and they say, you have claimed the Super Idol. I made sure very first of all that it is gone. No one else can find it, because if someone else can find it, someone else knows it's in the game. And that's what I don't want. That's the whole reason for this, plus also the extra bonus life. But the main reason was that I didn't want anyone else to know that a Super Idol was in this game. So, oh fuck, who knows? I think Gage knows that I got something big. I'm just gonna tell him it's an idol. If he asks me, it's an idol. It's not a Super Idol, it's an idol. It's not a Super Idol, it's an idol. It's a double vote steal, it's a legacy advantage. I'm not exactly sure. It's a Sapphire Idol. That's what it is. I don't know. It's something. It's something big, but it's not a Super Idol. No one knows it's a Super Idol. No one knows that this Super Idol is in the game. So I get it, and they tell me, okay, you have the Super Idol, you've claimed it. No one else can take it. But you can't claim it yet. You have to do your 1 extra task. That 1 extra task is before an immunity challenge is over. You have to say, if I lose, I will take a self-vote. A penalty vote. Because a self-vote implies that you can't vote yourself. So I've been saying penalty vote. You will be taking a penalty vote. So you can still cast your normal vote, but you will be taking a penalty vote. And I was like, all right. So that's part one of this past round. Part two is the mutiny. So we lose immunity. While all of this is happening, um, there's a post that we can mutiny to the other tribe, or we can mutiny to the old merciless tribe, which now has a buried relic, possibly underneath it, that you might want to find out. So I knew immediately I wanted to jump. Andrew was like, there's a power. I was like, I want it. I want it. I want that power. God, I hate Modern Survivor for being so power heavy, but like, I'm gonna use it. That's just like all I gotta say. Like, watching a season with heavy powers, no thank you. Playing a season with heavy powers, if I have the heavy powers, it. We're at the point where the powers aren't so saturated in this game that it feels unfair. There's enough of them, and they come at big enough of a price. That's the thing, is you have to pay a price for them. You can't just walk around and find them. You have to pay a price. You have to pay your vote. You have to pay your secrecy. And for my super idol, I have to pay my safety a little bit. I have to pay my vulnerability. Oh, because the thing is the penalty vote is announced to the tribe before tribal council, right when the immunity is posted. So they know for 24 hours before tribal council that I'm getting an extra vote. Beside all of that, so we're mutinying. There's a possibility of a power of something buried on the other tribe. And I say, I want it. I need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it. Um, so I was basically like, I'm jumping ship. Like, y'all can, like, unless I am the only, I will jump ship if 2 or more people jump with me. I need to be on a tribe of 3, and besides that, I don't give a fuck. I do not care. So, I was like, Sammy, will you jump? And I think Sammy was on board to jump. And then I was like, Drew, Nikias, are you gonna jump? And they were like, no, that would look sus from our tribe, especially to have the 4 of us together. And I was like, fair. And then Bodhi came to me and he was like, I kind of want our whole tribe to jump. And I was like, and a oop, and a oop, and a oop, and a oop, and a oop. And he was like, yeah, I just think it'd be like really iconic. And I was like, I'm here for this. I'm ready to do this. Let's do it. Because everyone else was like, I'm not jumping. I love this tribe too much. And then Bodhi was like, we can have this tribe on that beach. We can all go together. We can all move there. We are all chilling. Just all of us. And Glow was the main one that needed convincing. And I was like, okay. But she came over real quick once like that idea was pitched that we were all going to go. And then I was talking to Jose. This part runs into part 3 of the week too. So I was talking to Jose because Bodhi wanted all of us to jump and then try and pull in a few other people from the other tribe to jump. So Corey on his tribe was trying to make sure nobody jumped. He wants control of everything. He's a control freak. I will say that. So I need to remember that for the future. Corey needs to be in control for Corey to feel safe and comfortable. He's a control freak in games. He's a lovely person. Don't get me wrong. This is not anything negative against Corey. He just wants to be in control and is good at getting it and thinks he has a lot of it. So, that's just an aside. So, I was talking to Jose. I was like talking around. So, Drew and Nikias are out. Corey's out. I'm assuming Venny's out at this point. So that leaves Eddie, Gage, Lucas, Jose. I was talking to Jose. I was like, can we get you to jump? Oh, Gage is out because he thinks the whole tribe's staying. So he's like, I don't want to look sus. So I was like, hey, Jose, what are you thinking? And he was like, honestly, after this last vote, I have no idea what's happening on my tribe. Because I guess their vote was a lot like our vote, where it was like pretty unanimous, but everyone was still like really sketched out by everything. So everyone was just kind of like, ugh. So he's like, I might jump ship. I'll talk to Lucas. And I was like, okay, if you jump ship, like, I mean, I'll try and keep you safe as much as I can. And he was like, great. Um, what if we made an alliance with Yumi, Lucas, and then are you close with someone? And I like didn't want to expose my alliance with Sammy. I didn't feel close enough to Bo Gage or Bo Glow, Maddie, Krissa, Bo Glow, Maddie, or Krissa to say, yeah, I'm close with them. I'll have an alliance. So I just like kind of panicked and I was like, Bodhi, I am close with Bodhi. I can probably get him. And he's like, great, we'll have that alliance. You, me, Lucas, and Bodhi. And I was like, and then, we all get on the same tribe. We all mutiny. We all mutiny to the same tribe, to the new tribe, except for one person. Lil Miss Krissa mutinied. She mutinied, but she mutinied to the other tribe. She mutinied to the wrong tribe. And we were all like, Krissa, why? And she was like, no one told me which tribe to mutiny to. And I was like, first of all, we definitely did. And second of all, no. Krissa, no. No, Krissa, no. Poor Krissa. Poor Krista. So she is on a tribe of 1 versus a tribe of 14 people. Oh my god. Homegirl has to win immunity every single time for her to stay safe. And we're assuming that there's going to be 3 rounds in this new tribe configuration before we probably merge. Or have a swap for like a late merge. Andrew, you sadist. We probably are going to have either this round or one more. This round being the round after the round that I'm talking about. So we've gone through a tribal. So we're probably going to merge at 12 or 13. And so Krissa has to basically win her way there. And so we're going back to Jose. So Jose comes to me and he's like, blah, 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 blah. And then we all mutiny. We're all in the same tribe except Krissa, rip Krissa. And Corey comes to me and he's like, yo, Lucas is coming to me telling me that you're starting this big ass alliance and you want me in it. And I was like, Lucas did, or no, Jose. Sorry, Lucas is totally out of this. Jose did what now? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, Jose came to me with that alliance, so I don't know what's up. And Corey was like, okay, well, I don't trust this. And I was like, me neither, but I guess we'll go with it. So right now the alliance is me, Bodhi, Lucas, Jose, Corey. And then Bodhi goes, what if we bring Eddie in on board with this? I'm, to this day, to this minute, not sure Eddie even knows about any of this that's happening. And I was like, whoa, yeah, what if we bring Eddie on board? But at this point, I got red, like, sirens flashing in my head, like Corey's one thing. Like, that's just kind of, like, puts me in a tough position in the game because I've got, like, this one big alliance over here with them, and then my actual smaller alliance with Drew, Nikki, Sammy. And that just puts me in a really tough position because those two are probably going to target each other quite quickly, and I'm going to have to choose sides real fast. And I didn't want to do that. But then Eddie gets brought into this, and my sirens just go. I don't want Eddie in this alliance. That is too much. If it was just Corey, I don't like it, but I'll go along with it. I'll pretend. If it's just Eddie, I don't like it, but I'll like pretend. But Eddie and Corey, basically, you can take any one of those 6 out of it, and I'm like fine with it, but I don't like it. But you take all 6 of those people, and I'm like, no, I don't want this. I don't want this. So I'm like, I don't like this. And Corey comes to me and he's like, I don't like this either. What if we just do Jose now? And I was like, I am fine with Jose. Please get Jose out of this game. So I go to my alliance out of 4 and I was like, I need to tell someone right now. I need to talk to someone right this instant, right now. Someone needs to be made aware of this. And so I tell Drew everything. We're just on call because Sammy and Nikki are asleep, so we're just on call like PMs. I'm like, I tell Drew everything. And except I definitely downplay how much influence I had in the alliance. Um, yeah. So, and then Drew's like, well, we could just target Jose too. And I was like, and Drew's like, well, what do you want to do about it? And I was like, can we just target Jose? Can we just get him out? Can we please just get rid of him? And so we were thinking about like what numbers we could have because there's, oh, also my vote's exposed because um, the challenge ended. Krissa won. Krissa wins the challenge. Good for Krissa. Bodhi threw it to her, but good for Krissa. She's safe. She survived another round. Um, I was a little late on the jump um, to get my self vote in, my penalty vote, because the challenge happened like real quick. It happened like maybe an hour after the mutiny happened, when normally we'd have 24 full hours. And so I came in like 10 minutes after the challenge was done, maybe 20 minutes after the challenge was done. And I was like, it's too late for me to do my self vote because I really want to do it right now because I feel like I'm in a good position. Because this is before Eddie gets brought into the question, and I still feel like fine with that alliance. I feel like I've got 10 people on my side who are not going to target me, 9 people on my side who are not going to target me. I feel fine. Like, I don't feel great, but I feel like I'll make it through this vote. I feel like, okay, we're chilling. Um, this is before Eddie gets brought into it and all the mess starts to happen. And so they let me do it. They're nice and they're like, yeah, it was a rushed thing. You came pretty quick after the challenge was over. It's not like 20 minutes before tribal you're like, I want to self vote. It's like in the spirit of the rule. It's basically give people the whole time to strategize with that information out there. That's like basically what the point of the rule is. And the thing is with the super idol is I don't get it when I agree to self vote. I get it after I survive the tribal council that I get the penalty vote. So I have to survive a tribal council on my own while getting a penalty vote before I get the super idol. That's a big asterisk in there. So I make it. They like say Monty gets a vote against himself. There's going to be 15 votes at this tribal instead of 14, conditionally, depending on who's spooky doesn't vote. And so everyone's asking me, like, why do you have a vote against yourself? And I'm just like, I found it in the skull. I found it. I was digging, and Andrew was like, here's some clown makeup and a self vote. And I was just crying. Total bullshit, but, you know, they don't need to know. They don't need to know about the dream time. Shh. What they don't know doesn't hurt them. They're on a need to know basis, and they don't need to fucking know. So yeah, I just told them. So this also is good because it makes them more paranoid about the skull. So if they think bad things can come out of the skull, then they might not be as likely to search the skull. So, which is good because there's nothing bad in that skull except Adrian yelling at you. So I'm like playing up that bit. That's what Nikias thinks it is, and that's what Lucas thinks it is, because those are the two people that I talked to about it. That might be what Drew thinks it is too, and like maybe Sammy or Gage or Corey. I don't know. A big group of people, but that's what I'm telling everyone. So like, it doesn't even matter. Oh, that was my shoulder. That was not cute. So I'm talking to Gage or Drew, and all this happens. I tell Gage everything too because I was like, because then also on top of this, Bodhi goes, yeah, if we bring Eddie in, we can just have an alliance of like us, the old merciless, and the old loser tribe. And I was like, that was also a big thing of when I was like, no, nuh-uh, That is what we're not going to be doing. We are not going to be making a super majority alliance where all of my allies, my close allies, are not included. Literally every single one of my close allies is not included. That is something we are not doing here. So that was also a big alarm for me. So I talked to Nikias. He really wanted Glow out this round, and I kind of get it. He's worried about moral numbers, and I told him about Bodhi's comment, and now he's worried about loser numbers, and especially a loser moral. Glow's not a moral loser, but like moral tribe, loser tribe. someone who's in that combo, he's like very worried about. So he was like, I want to get glow out now. And I was like, yes, but, which is how the survivor lingo for no, is yes, but. So he was also like, I want Gage out. And Bodhi also threw out Gage as a possible alternate for Jose because Jose at this point is kind of spreading through the tribe. Like everyone's kind of getting the vibe, the like sense that Jose's going, Jose's being messy. So Gage and I are talking, and apparently he tried to do the same sort of thing with him, Benny, and Gage. And Gage and Benny were like, he's gonna leak. This is real sus. Um, so Jose was just overplaying everything right here. Um, yes, okay. Um, so I'm talking to Nikias. He wants Gage out and Glow out. Those are his two main targets right now. And I'm like, I will get Glow out anytime you want, but Gage, I will not get out Gage. So I tried to steer him as far away from Gage as I could and as much onto Glow as possible, but still being like, Jose, the numbers are here for Jose, the momentum's here for Jose. We should just vote out Jose right now. It's not going to kill anyone. We're going to be fine with Jose gone. Everyone wants it to happen. It's going to happen. So Jose, he finally came in, and I was like, let's not take Glow off the table. Let's not take Gage off the table for next round's vote. Let's leave them both on the table and go from there. Let's vote out Jose now because there will be many more people willing to make a bigger move next round than there are this round. This round, people just want it to not be them. So let's make it not us. Let's make it not anyone else. Let's give everyone what they want and vote out Jose. And he finally was like, sure, fine, I guess. So I need to also keep an eye on him because it definitely feels like input-wise and influence-wise, he's on the bottom of our alliance. It's like me and Drew at the top, and then him, and then Sammy. But Sammy's basically moot at this point. Sammy's gone. Sammy like doesn't come online all that often anymore. So out of the three of us, it definitely feels like he has the least amount of influence. And that is a reason to make someone jump ship, especially a Maverick who's looking out for number one and number one only. Nikias will jump. So I need to really make sure that his plans go through sometimes. That he's the one that gets to say, we vote this person. I obviously, if I can, I want to plant seeds in his head to make him think that it's his vote, his idea. But if I can't do that, then we gotta let him have his way sometimes, or else he's going to jump. So it's really a balancing act in the next, like, gonna be in a couple next votes of give Nikias what he wants and let him feel comfortable versus get what I want and get what Drew wants and set myself up better. But we agreed Jose. So then Corey comes to me and he's like, so everyone's kind of getting a little anxious and paranoid right now because we've only heard Jose. Like, that's the only name anyone that I've talked to has heard. And that's what they're saying. They're like, the only name I've heard all day is Jose. Like, it's weird. I've not heard a single other counter plan. It's only been Jose. So I talked to Corey and he's like, I told Jose Bodhi because people were mad at Bodhi for throwing the challenge. And so Jose messaged me and I was like, I've heard Bodhi. Just to like be safe. And he's like, yeah, like it sucks because of the alliance. Like we could try and do something. And he also mentioned trying to get Gage. So I think Gage is going to be a bigger target than we realize. And I think he's going to be a bigger target than he realizes. Because I think Gage really is trying to play off this under the radar. I'm not a threat. I'm just kind of plotting along. Good old Gage. Good old, I'm a good boy. I'm Gage. And I think he plays that a lot. He plays that way a lot. And he's smarter than that game lets on. He's quite good at this game. He's won a Tumblr Survivor season. He's been a big threat in other games. He's a good player. So no one can let that deceive him. And I think people are a little bit wiser to him than he thinks they are. And I think they're wiser to him than I thought they were. I thought he was doing a very good job at playing that sort of, I'm a good boy, I am immoral, I am Gage sort of shtick. But I think people are onto him, and he is not as moral as his tribe designation says he is. Um, so that's a little concerning because he is an ally. I know I will need to cut him sooner rather than later. Middle rather than anywhere else. Um, but to have his name popping up this early is something I don't want. Um, yeah, so it's kind of bad for my game that so many people are bringing it up as different possibilities. Because Bodhi was like, I want to stick with this alliance. If we can get Gage out, that'd be fine. But I'm not sure we can get momentum. And I was like, I genuinely don't think we can get momentum anywhere. And Jose was like, we can like try and go for Gage. And I was like, can we get some momentum? Or is it going to be stuck on Bodhi? And he was like, I think it's going to be stuck on Bodhi. And I was like, God damn it. Or good. I was like, good. But to Jose, I was like, damn. So then Jose tells Bodhi that he's heard his name. Bodhi flips out. Not like in a I'm mad sort of way, but just in a paranoia breakdown kind of way. He's messaging me, he's messaging other people. I'm at a soccer game with 10% left on my phone right now. The match hasn't even started. And I'm like, he's like, be honest, like, have you heard, like, anyone doing anything else? And I was like, I've genuinely not heard a single other name besides Jose. Lucas is messaging me right now, and he's being like, I'm just checking in to make sure that we're on the same page. Like, have you heard the name that I've been hearing? And I don't know, because Jose said that he was talking to Lucas about voting Bodhi. And so I genuinely didn't know what Lucas was trying to get at from me. I was like, yes, we're on the same page. Sucks that the alliance had to end so quick, and I was like really trying to add as much information as I could while literally saying nothing, because I didn't know if he thought I was targeting Jose or targeting Bodhi. And if he thought I was targeting Jose or Bodhi, and I said, yeah, sucks that Jose's leaving. That's awful. So I was like really, really, really vague and probably kind of sketchy coming off, but I don't care. Um, yeah, and then he was like, yeah, Jose's plan really backfired, and I was like, yeah, and him even trying to target Bodhi on top of that, like this alliance is just over before it even began. So then I finally started like giving some concrete answers once he like said his bit. Um, So, like, I kind of feel bad for being so sketchy, but, like, not really, because Lucas is sketchy. Who are we kidding? Lucas is sketchy as fuck. Um, yeah, but then Gage is coming to me, and he's like, I'm leaving. Like, I'm positive I'm leaving. And I was like, or, like, no, this was happening, Bodhi was happening. Bodhi's like, can we split the votes? Like, can we please split the votes? Like, Jose's, like, not doing anything. Like, this is too sus. And everyone's like, why is Jose not doing anything? Like, he can't know his name. Like, he can't not know his name is coming up. Like, how is he just not, like, aware of all of this? Um, which was, that was what everyone was worried about. It's literally Dylan, Dylan's vote, our Dylan's vote, but with double the people. Because Dylan's the only name that's around, Jose's the only name that's around. Dylan's not all that active. Jose's more active, but still not like a whole big driving force in this game. Dylan is not campaigning to save even though it's the only name out there right now, and like not kind of subtly either. Jose's not campaigning even though his is the only name out there, and not even that subtly. So it just really felt like a flashback to that tribal. And I think other people experienced on the other tribe what we experienced on our tribe, because that's exactly I had the exact same feeling going into this tribal that I had going into the last tribal. Paranoia, uncertainty, and just questioning every single decision I made, every single person I talked to, even targeting Jose in the first place. I was questioning everything going into this vote, just like I was questioning everything going into the Dylan vote. So everyone I think was feeling that way though, because everyone after the Dylan vote came together and we were all like, wow, we were really paranoid, and it didn't matter. And everyone after this vote was coming together and being like, wow, we were really paranoid, but it didn't matter. Or like, I guess that's like what's gonna happen in the end, anyways. So Bodhi's trying to split. I'm running to Gage, Drew, and Corey, freaking out. I'm like, this is the worst. I've never felt worse in a vote. Because also, a thing that I was thinking about, Jose has an idol, right? Like, this is the hypothetical that I worked myself into paranoia for. Jose has an idol, right? Okay, let's say that's the explanation why Jose is not campaigning, because he has an idol. Jose has an idol. People are wary of idols this season because a couple random people had idols, Venny and Maddie. So like people are a little sus about idols and who can have them, because it's like really anyone at this point. Like it's not like a an idol person is gonna have idols. It's anyone's gonna have idols. So people are throwing votes at tribals like this. It happened last time. Eddie threw on Venny. It looks like it's gonna happen this time. Like people are freaked out that they're gonna get idled out with one vote by Jose. So Jose is not an idiot. He probably knows this is gonna happen. And he wants to. When he idles someone out, he wants them to be out of this game. I already have a vote against me. He puts another vote on me. That's 2 votes. Anyone trying to throw a vote is probably throwing by themselves. It suddenly becomes a 2-to-1 idle out. I'm out of here. So that's what I was like whipping myself up into a paranoia about. And I need to keep this paranoia up, but I need to keep it way more on lock and internalized. But I need this paranoia to be a driving force in my game so that I never get comfortable. Never get comfortable. Because when I get comfortable, I'll get voted out. And I don't want to get voted out. Because if I get voted out, I lose my safety net, and then anything can happen at that point. Then I'm an easy target, because vote me out once. Whatever, vote me out twice. Finally gone. So, Bodhi's trying to split the vote. I'm freaking out to Drew, Corey, and Gage. The vote comes out. 3 people abstained. 3 people did Maverick. Bodhi and Lucas exposed their votes. So now the total list of people that could be in Dreamtime are Sammy. I'm pretty sure Sammy exposed his vote, or abstained, because he was not online today at all, which would make sense because he's not concerning himself with his vote because he's not going to vote. So that makes sense. I'm pretty sure Sammy's in Dreamtime. Bodhi exposed his vote. Lucas exposed his vote. And then Benny's already there, and I've already been there. So I think the 5 of us are there. I'm not sure about Lucas and Bodhi if they've abstained or not. I'd have to go back and do some math and do some like puzzling. But me, Sammy, and Benny for sure on lock are there. Which is like a little frustrating because all the powers are going to be gone soon. But I know that I'm not going to be able to get there in another 2 rounds. Not going to happen. So I can just now sit back and set up a defensive game at this point. Less offensive. I've done my offensive risky bit for a little bit. Now it's time to set in for the middle game. From here until Judgment, set in for the middle game and just survive. That's what I'm doing. Idols are going to come out. Survive. A double tribal might happen. Survive. People are going to try and start making moves. Survive. That's my middle game plan. This is my middle game plan. I've played risky in the first bit to set myself up with a lot of allies, a lot of items, a lot of connections. Now it's time to play this middle bit where I just lay low, build upon those social connections. Really, this is where my social game needs to step up. I need to kick it into high gear. I need to be talking to everyone every day. And I need to solidify bonds, alliances, all that stuff. I need to take my social game up to 10. I'm at like 6 right now. I need to go up to 10. I need to be talking to everyone every day. just getting to know people, getting to vote with them. This big tribe is good for that because I can just have conversations because it's more normal now that one world is less important. I mean, I could talk to Krissa, but like, I'm gonna have to do that anyways. Set up for this middle game so that I can get to 8, hopefully with my idol still. Hopefully don't get to judgment, don't get judged. Hopefully everything's all good. Maybe even a little bit before 8, maybe even start at 9, so that I can try and get like Eddie out and then have the votes fall on Drew, or get Drew out and have the votes fall on Eddie. Something like that at final 8 and 9. And then play from that point on. So we have like pre-game, or not pre-game, but like early game, which is like setup. Middle game, which is like defense and solidifying. And then late game, which is like aggressive. So I need to set myself up that I can play that aggressive end game that I want to play. And to do that, I need to make sure I don't get voted out. Hopefully find another thing. But if I don't, I have the best thing to have. I need to lay low, make connections, and stay not voted out. That includes keep both lives, because once I get into the aggressive part, then I can use my super idol for offense or defense. If someone that I want to stay goes, if I don't get my way one round, I can just whip it out. If I leave one round, if people get wise on me playing aggressive, I can whip it out. So that's sort of what I'm gearing towards. And right now, with this vote and this sort of happening, this is the perfect time for me to start solidifying bonds, making better friends. I specifically need to hit up like Eddie, Glow, Bo, Lucas. Those are like the 4 that I really need to like dial in on. The rest, I've got pretty good feel. Venny, 5. Those are the 5. The other 8, I feel better with. But those 5, people I really need to connect with. Oh, so after all this, Bodhi goes unanimously. Or, not Bodhi. Jose goes unanimously. After all this paranoia, Jose goes unanimously. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I will check back in before the next tribal to see like what's up. If we go back to tribal, I kind of want Glow out because I don't want Gage out because he's better for late solidifying, late defensive and early offensive game. I want Glow out because we don't have the strongest social connection. On Jury, I don't think she'll appreciate the way I'm going to play this end game. And people don't want her out. People don't want her out because she's so likable now, and people won't want her out later because she's not like a challenge threat. Strategically, she's pretty straightforward, so it's not like people are going to be getting her out for that either. So she's basically got a good set in ride for final like 6, and I want her out because if it doesn't happen in the next 2 or 3 rounds, she's going to final 6, and she gets to final 6, then takes a couple of the right conversations, a couple immunity wins, and she's in final 3, final 2. She's likable enough that she can win again, and I don't want that. Now, Glow, if you're watching this has nothing to do with your age. It has nothing to do with anything about you. It is because you are such a likable person. So sweet, so kind. And that just makes you such a dangerous player in this game to me, who wants a jury that is going to be more cutthroat and appreciate a more cutthroat game. Because that's the kind of game I'm trying to play. So, or going to be trying to play at the end anyways. So I feel like if you're on jury, you're a more straight shooter kind of person, and you won't really appreciate me playing a little bit more underhanded, lying a little bit more, backstabbing a little bit more. So I don't want you on jury. That's why, and I obviously don't want you in finals sitting next to me because you're going to win. So that's my little note to you, Glow, why I want you out now. It is purely strategic, and in fact, I'm going to hate to see you go if it does happen this round. because legend. Yeah, so these are tough calls that I'm gonna have to start making. But yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. This is 45 minutes. I was hungry right when this started, so I'm gonna go eat now.